Ben Simmons returns to Philly as the Nets face the Sixers. Simmons has shown improvement of late. Over his last three, he scored 48 points, which is more than he had in all of his first 9 games. He's also shooting a tremendous 85% from the floor in his last 3 games and picked up his first double-double of the season. That was against Portland last Thursday. Do you think Simmons will play well in his return to Philly?
I have no clue. I really, really don't. Because this dude, I just don't know. I saw him at the game when they went up against the Knicks. I was like, yo, bro, just play, man. Just play. It's not like you don't have the talent, etc. But I just want to emphasize this, and I know that Tim is going to expound on this with his Philly roots. As y'all all know, I worked in Philadelphia for 17 and a half years as a reporter and a columnist. What Ben Simmons is in for tonight, I don't know if we've ever known of an athlete that's going to go through what he's going to go through tonight. Now, I will preface it and put Tim Legler's face up there because I want to see my brother while I'm talking to him. I know when LeBron returned to Cleveland, it was dicey. It was dangerous. We were expecting a lot of vitriol or whatever. But it was because of the love they had for him and that he left them. The greatest player in the world decided to depart from Cleveland and leave us hanging. And there was such a level of not just venom, but depression. If you look at the stories about the local economy in Cleveland and how it just plummeted when LeBron left town. Because he had such a profound impact. It was more than just basketball. And he was an Akron native, 30 minutes away, who played in Cleveland and decided to take his talents to South Beach. There was a whole bunch of people that were hurt. Not just angry, hurt, heartbroken, depressed. That's a different emotion than what's going to happen in Philly tonight. You're talking about a city rife with rough riders that are merciless when you don't deserve it. So how they going to be when you do? Because no matter how much I'm rooting for Ben Simmons, Tim, no matter how much I hope that he moves on with his career and he's prosperous and he does well, make no mistake, the hostility that he is going to experience, okay, nothing violent, of course. We're not advocating that. But I'm just talking about verbal, venomous stuff. Oh, he deserves that. He deserves that. They're going to see where that team bus is. Remember last year when he got out of the hotel to get onto the bus? Everybody knew he wasn't playing. He was just there in street clothes, and they were heckling the hell out of him. In street clothes. What he's going to experience tonight, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to have the time to get there, but I'm trying, Tim. I'm trying. It's going to be bad. And because of that, I just don't know how to predict what the hell he going to do.
First of all, you're talking about the Philadelphia market, the fan base, the media base. Stephen A., you know it well. Obviously, I know it well. Been living in that area for 40 years. You've been there forever. We both know what we saw in that Atlanta series when the season ended in the summer of 2021 in June. I said that night after the game, and I said it the next morning in all my hits, Ben Simmons can't play in this city again because they can forgive bad performances. They can. What they can't forget is guys that look like they're afraid of the moment. And that's exactly what he looked like in that Atlanta series as a #1 seed, melting down against the Hawks with a team that you think can potentially get to the finals, maybe win it all, and in large part to the way he played and shied away from the pressure of the moment. So I said it then. Now, we know how it all played out. Now, here's what I'm going to say to you. In terms of hostility and vitriol directed at any athlete coming back to a city in which they had played previously, I agree with you. I think this ranks as the all-time most hostile environment we are going to see. The only two that come to mind are LeBron going back to Cleveland, and I was actually at the link when Terrell Owens came back as a Dallas Cowboy to play the Philadelphia Eagles after the way that thing blew up, right? And I remember what that felt, and I'm not even a Eagles fan. I just wanted to go to see it. I'm like, what is this going to be when he comes back? I think this absolutely, completely puts both of those situations to bed. Absolutely. This is #1, but I'll say this. He caught a break. He caught a break. Now, he didn't go back there last March And I said he ain't never going to play in Philadelphia again. He didn't go at that time. It was smart. Now, look, whether he was legitimately hurt with his back or whatever it was, if that's the case, it was fortuitous for him he didn't play then. And if it was a calculated decision, it was very smart. Here's why. I feel like just sensing it has come down a notch, Stephen A., and partly because of the injuries that Philly's dealing with right now. You're going to have no James Harden, no Joel Embiid. It doesn't feel the same right now. Eagles, best record in the league, so they're kind of distracted there. And the Phillies just went to the World Series. I just don't feel like the anger and the resentment, hostility is quite where it would have been. But having said all of it, it is still going to be on par with the most hostile environment any athlete has encountered going back. And for that reason, it's unfathomable to me that he has a huge game or an impact.
I know he's finally starting to play well and be aggressive offensively, but Ben Simmons is not playing well tonight. We've seen him in the playoffs. We've seen him in high-pressure moments. And this environment in Philadelphia is going to be horrible. There's no way he can drown out the noise and play well tonight. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even take a shot. They're going to be focused on his every move. Every time he touches the ball, they're going to boo him. There's just no way he can succeed in that type of environment. I understand that James Harden, Maxey, Embid, all these guys are going to be out, and that helps him a little bit. But at the same time, we've seen Ben Simmons play against bad teams and not take a single shot. Obviously, the score of the game is going to make a difference. If they're blowing the 76ers out right away, it will have an impact on how comfortable Ben is. We also have to take into account Kyrie and KD will try and make Ben as comfortable as possible. The first time Ben returned to Philly, he was just sitting on the bench. But KD and Kyrie went at James Harden and attacked the entire team, and they blew out the 76ers. They spoiled Ben's return. They took the crowd's focus completely off of Ben Simmons by destroying their team. That's something that they can do again tonight with Ben Simmons on the court, giving him encouragement and telling him it's okay to be aggressive. And they're going to have to do that, because if they don't, Ben Simmons will be passive. Ben Simmons will not want the ball in his hands. He won't attack the rim because he will not want to go to the free throw line and have all the attention on him. There's no way he'd want to do that. But even with that, I don't expect Ben to have a big game tonight. I don't even think he'll score in the double digits. He might get some rebounds and assists, but he won't be shooting the ball much because he doesn't want to hear it from that Philly crowd. He's a big rhythm player, and it's hard to get a rhythm when you're playing in that type of environment where they're against you. It's one thing if they're on your side, like they have been for years, but if they're against him for the first time and he's on the court, it's a totally different story. The good thing for Ben is no matter how he plays tonight, the Nets are probably going to win this game. The 76ers are too short-handed to deal with their firepower. It would be embarrassing if they lost though, and even worse if he played poorly. I just don't think that's going to happen. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are the Nets going to win tonight? And how is Ben Simmons going to perform under all that pressure? And leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more NBA content just like this. And I will see you in the next upload.